Meditation. So meditation is the S in the savors of Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning. S stands for silence. Silence. So today we're going to talk a little bit about meditation and how it is an incredibly profound personal mastery habit to incorporate into your daily Miracle Morning routine. And even beyond that, how to incorporate meditation as a way of being, as a way of practicing mindfulness in your life. So those of you who are watching, so I see we got Leslie and Melanie, you guys, oh, Sharon's on the line. Sharon, you're hanging out until your nephew comes on board. So what I want to just do is encourage you guys, if you have any comments or questions as we go along, drop them in the comments. I'm going to be covering all kinds of meditation and thought. I am not the guru here when it comes to meditation. I know that you guys have a lot of information to share. So feel free to drop the comments and get involved in the conversation. First and foremost, though, I just want to get a little real with you guys. I want to be really honest and share with you why I'm so passionate about these personal mastery habits. And particularly today, we're talking about meditation. So I want to talk about why this is so important to me. If I died tomorrow, you guys, this is the message I would want to leave with you. And that is the path to self-actualization begins by being present and in the moment. Becoming aware of ourselves, becoming aware of the things that we're thinking, and to rise above and realize that we are so much bigger than our beliefs. We are so much bigger than our beliefs. And I have found that path through meditation. So about 3 years ago, I found myself incredibly sick. I was very sick. I developed an autoimmune disease. It's called dermatomyositis, and I had to practice pronouncing that because it's a crazy word. But in essence, what was happening was my immune system was attacking my muscles. And almost overnight, I found myself completely incapacitated. I needed my husband to help me get dressed. I needed help washing my hair. It was a very scary time for me. And I had a moment where I came downstairs and my son was looking at a picture of him and I, and he was crying. And I said, "Sweetheart, what's wrong? What's wrong, my darling?" And my beautiful son looked at me and he said, "I just wish we had more time together, Mom." Oh, I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. But that was my defining moment, you guys, where I decided that no matter what, I was going to do what it took to come back to myself and heal my body. And one of the very first things that I started to implement was the practice of meditation. Visualization, yes. Affirmations, yes. But the practice of presence and connecting with my soul and what I'm doing here on earth. So I got really busy with beginning to allow for space in my life for meditation. And as a result of incorporating that into my daily life, I've been able to, through a myriad of practices, through many practices, but mostly through the mindfulness of meditation, I've been able to really transform my health, because I could not afford to have anger in my body. I could not afford to have chaos and anxiety in my body. I needed peace. My body needed peace in order for it to heal. And I needed a reframe on how I was doing my life, and that started with practicing presence and mindfulness. So today in this little webinar, I am going to go over a ton of information, but I wanted to not just share information and do an information dump. I really want to share with you guys the heartfelt message behind why meditation is so important to me. And if anything, I hope that you're influenced and encouraged to incorporate more meditation into your life. So let's talk a little bit more about this, because I've got a few cool things in store today. I see Leslie here made a comment. So true. Our beliefs are a thought we think over and over. Yes. And meditation is the ability to detach from the mind and realize that the essence of who we are is so much bigger than the thoughts we think about ourselves. Da, da, da. Okay, so meditation, what is it? What is it? So meditation is a means to achieving a sense of inner peace, contentment. It's a state of altered consciousness that offers a pathway to connecting with your higher self. It's a way of clearing the inner and wayward thoughts, so leaving a deep feeling of stillness and calm, right? So it's that ability to, if you've watched the visualization webinar, I showed a little clip of the brain and it looked like an actual storm cloud, a thunder cloud, right? So meditation is the ability to calm the storm, right? For the purpose of developing a connection with our higher self, with a connection with the part that is the observer of the thoughts. Meditation is also a method of relieving outer stress by going inwards. It's also a tool for enhancing your ability to focus and manifest the reality in which you choose to live. So through practicing meditation, I've been able to really train my mind and train my thoughts on what it is I want to focus upon, right? And by being able to practice focusing, I've been able to steer the course. And it's like we were talking today earlier on, you know, if I'm a horse and I'm running in a horse race, they put those blinders on so that, you know, we're not distracted by those other thoughts. Right? You don't have these other thoughts, these wayward thoughts pulling me away from my goal or my objective. If I've got those blinders on, I'm able to focus, train my mind to focus upon the end result. And I'm more likely to cross the finish line rather than getting distracted by the other horses, AKA thoughts, pulling me sideways. Meditation is a simple and effortless process that allows you to connect with your being and the divine essence that resides within you. So absolutely. Like I mentioned before, just the ability to disconnect from the thoughts or even to be aware of the thoughts, to go into that observer mode of the thoughts is in essence the ability to connect with your own divinity. And it's truly an opportunity to come home and remember who you really are. And that's what, when I was sharing my story about becoming ill, meditation was my wake-up call. Like, it's time for me to come home. It's time for me to self-actualize. It's time for me to step into a bigger game of my life, because we don't know when we'll expire. You know, our bodies will expire at some point. But in order for me to make the most of my life, I wanted to practice meditation as a means to coming home to the truth of who I am, so that I could be honest and real about who I really am. So meditation, y'all know I like to do the dictionary.com definitions. So according to dictionary.com, meditation is the act of meditating. Well, okay. Continued or extended thought, reflection, and contemplation. So those are interesting thoughts. One of the greatest explanations I had ever heard about what is meditation, when I lived in Edmonton, for fun on a Friday night, I used to actually go to the Buddhist temple on 97th Street in Edmonton, Alberta. Beautiful place. They have this gorgeous, monumentous statue of the Buddha. And there would be this little Vietnamese monk there giving Dharma talks. And he'd have to have a translator because he'd speak in Vietnamese. But he said that the word meditation in Vietnamese translates literally as looking deeply into the present moment. Looking deeply into the present moment. So for me, that resonated at such a profound level. Because, you know, I don't need to be sitting cross-legged to be meditating. In fact, I could be drinking this cup of tea and looking deeply into the cup of tea and seeing the sunlight that had to grow the tea leaves and the earth in which the tea leaves grew, and that somebody had to pick the tea leaves and manufacture the tea leaves and then package the tea leaves and then ship it over to me, and the gas that went into my car to go get the tea leaves, and the beautiful cup that somebody made, right? So looking deeply into this present moment and really seeing the miraculousness of the present moment. There really are no ordinary moments. And so meditation is looking deeply within the present moment. And I'm going to share like a myriad of ways in which you can practice looking deeply into the moment. But in essence, that is what meditation is, right? So Sharon said that this afternoon she's going to be spending the afternoon with her nephew. And I said, yay, you get to do hanging out with little nephew meditation, right? When I'm walking my dogs, I'm doing dog walking meditation when I'm present and fully there and engaged with what is currently happening. Right now, I'm doing a meditation webinar meditation. Okay, that was my ha-ha moment. Okay, so why meditate? Let's talk about the benefits of meditation. So at every level, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, a commitment to a regular daily practice over an extended period of time will result in profound and positive changes. And once meditation becomes a habit, it will be essential as eating. So here's the thing, is that I ran a marathon once. I ran 42.2 kilometers. This little body did that. But I didn't just get out of bed one day and run 42.2 kilometers. In fact, when I first started running, I could hardly even run for 5 minutes in a row, let alone 4 hours. Okay? So it's the same thing with meditation, that when we're practicing that mental focus and we're practicing that bringing ourselves to the present, sometimes I can't even do that for 60 seconds. That's okay, right? But just like marathon training, and you'll see here where it says, practice over an extended period of time will result in profound positive changes. So it's that consistent, concerted, practiced effort, consistency, right? Consistently training the mind to sit still in the present moment. That is where the benefits really come. I see we have our friend Kat Wall has joined us. Kat, I know you are a big meditator as well, my friend. So if you have any comments or thoughts about what we're talking about today, drop a comment. I'm glad you joined us. So let's talk about some physical benefits. So physically, it's been shown that meditation reduces tension in the muscles. It increases circulation and oxygen through the body, especially if you're doing that breathing meditation. I know we've got a super duper yogi, Paramjit, in the group who, if you're interested in doing some breathing exercises, you could reach out to him. It also, high blood pressure and high cholesterol levels may be lowered with regular meditation. I was going to say medication. That was interesting. So there was an automatic response there. So high blood pressure and high cholesterol levels may be lowered with regular meditation. So if you think about that, how is that true? Like, that is quite fascinating that we can control what's happening in our body from our minds. And they've been able to actually show this. The body's immune system is strengthened and its ability to cope with stress is enhanced, resulting in less dis-ease in the body. Physical pain, fatigue, and insomnia are all reduced, and the general physiology of the body is improved as a more natural state of balance and equilibrium is achieved. So if any of you have ever had an experience of studying yogis of India, they do these like crazy, insane things with their bodies through meditation. Like, I'm talking, they exist only on air. Like, they're called breatharians, right? And they have the ability to completely go like months without eating food or drinking water. Don't ask me how they're doing it. Well, I don't know if I'd be able to live without food or water for longer than 12 hours. But here's the thing, is that there's actual people, human beings, just like you and I, through the power of their minds and meditation, they've been able to train themselves to exist without that stuff. There are yogis that have been able to stop their heart and then come back, right? So don't take my word for it. You can research it. There's some pretty interesting stuff out there. I see we have Debbie. Debbie has joined us. Hello, Debbie. Thanks for joining us. If you have any comments as we go along, feel free to drop a comment. So lots of physical benefits to meditation. Emotional benefits. So emotionally, meditation creates a greater sense of peace. It aids in reducing the intensity and frequency and duration of fear and anger. So I can remember having an experience of being like just in this full blown, I'm so mad. And this was like back in my 20s. I was arguing with my boyfriend at the time. And I had this I had just begun meditating, but in the middle of that argument, I had this profound experience where I was able to just stop, look, and really see what was happening. And it was like I detached from the automatic beliefs and behaviors, and I was able to step back and get a greater sense of what was really going on. And I know that that was a direct result of the fact that I had been going to that Buddhist temple and practicing meditation. So anxiety, irritability, emotional trauma are managed more effectively as meditation allows the emotional centers in the brain to become detached from thoughts that precipitated the emotions, just like I was talking about. Becoming the observer. It's called metacognition. Becoming the observer of the thoughts in the mind. I see here Sharon has a comment. In Tibet, there are recorded cases of achieving light body through meditation. Oh, I'd love to hear more about that light body, Sharon. So more about emotional benefits. It assists you in dealing more objectively and rationally with difficult and challenging situations. And it is a means of refocusing negative energy towards positive outcomes and giving your mind the space and stillness it requires to connect with your true feelings, right? So just giving yourself that space to just ask, what is really going on? I don't know about you, but I've had the experience where I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I just have this tightness in my chest and my heart is hurting and I don't know why I'm feeling this way, right? So through the process of meditation, it's an opportunity for me to sit still and really question and explore. Oh, I'm feeling exposed. I'm feeling vulnerable. That's what that feeling is. What's that about, right? As opposed to if I don't take the time to step back and reflect on that or meditate or look deeply into what that's about, I might miss that and then just operate unconsciously and spew my hurt out onto everybody else. So there are definitely mental benefits to meditation. Let's chat about that. So mentally, again, the ability to focus, concentrate, and resolve problems is significantly increased. Regular meditation opens up the lines of energy in the brain that result in greater creativity and productivity in terms of artistic endeavors. So I have had the experience of walking through the forest, like doing I call it my walking through the forest meditation, and just going along, and then all of a sudden it's like my brain opens and the universe dumps all kinds of ideas in there. It's like a stream. I call it the stream of consciousness, right? Or even in my yoga classes, I've had the experience where in a yin yoga class, it's like all of a sudden the floodgates open and I have all these inspired, crazy, creative ideas. This little webinar series came as a result of one of my morning meditations. So definitely an opportunity to have greater creativity. Learning capabilities and memory are enhanced, as well as generative thinking skills that lead to improved performance in areas of academic pursuits. So for those of you who are, on Udemy taking classes, meditation will help you to actually comprehend and learn material. And as we know, one of the greatest qualities and traits that we can enhance as a personal mastery person is the ability to be a continued learner. So meditation will help in your ability to learn. Sharon, I see here that you posted a link. I'm going to check that out right after this webinar. So using visualization during meditation has improved athletic performance. And I talked about that in the visualization webinar as well. Thanks, Leslie. I think you're inspirational too. So spiritual benefits of meditation. Spiritually, meditation creates a greater sense of self-awareness and a feeling of being connected to the energy that permeates the earth and everything on it. That's all. That's all it does. Seriously though, think about that. Or rather feel it, right? So meditation, so through looking deeply within the moment, it creates a greater sense of self-awareness and a feeling that being connected to the energy that permeates the earth and everything on it. So whatever that looks like for you, God, Buddha, Allah, Mother Nature, universal consciousness, E=mc², we're all energy. It's that awareness of connecting to it. So one of the meditations that I like to practice in the morning was outlined by Paramahansa Yogananda, and he does a guided meditation where he talks about in your mind's eye, you know, being able to see everybody in the room or everybody in your house, and then stepping back, like in your mind's eye, pulling back, and then seeing everybody in your neighborhood, and then the city, and then the province, and then the country, and then the world, and then the planets within the galaxy, and then the universe, and then the universe within the universe, and just keep pulling back, and then bringing it all back. What happens for me is just this sense that I am so much bigger than I think, and yet I'm so much smaller. Like my problems that I think are my problems are actually, they're just little dots and flecks of moments in the universe of time. And when I get that, take that time to meditate and get that perspective, it's great. So Leslie, do you have a link for that? For if you're referring to the meditation that I just talked about, no, I am actually a student of the Self-Awareness Fellowship founded by Paramahansa Yogananda. I can definitely send you a link for that, for the Self-Realization Fellowship. And if you are interested in studying with Yogananda, you can apply. It's an actual application process. You can apply to receive the lessons. So meditation is a direct link to your higher self. It brings you closer to the inner being and feelings of peace, love, gratitude, and contentment. So where do you do it? Where can you meditate? It is preferable to select a place in which you feel comfortable, safe, and free of outside distractions. Yes, if you're setting up an official formalized meditation practice, then yes, you want to, you know, in the beginning, pick a spot where you do it over and over. You know, neuro-linguistic programming anchors is that if you have it, if you're creating that meditation in the same spot, your body's likely to respond and it might be easier. Again, I believe that meditation is looking deeply in the moment, and I believe that we can meditate in whatever moment we are in, whether we're driving a car, sitting on a bus, having a conversation. It's practicing that intensely deep looking within the moment. So when do you do it? I'm a fan of the morning guys for some reason. I don't know, I'm part of this Miracle Morning group. But ideally, the best time to meditate are in the morning, immediately upon waking, and in the evening prior to going to bed. Paramjit says, meditation is linking directly with God, complete surrender with full faith. Beautiful. So how do you do it? The most important guidelines to emphasize here are that there are no single right way to meditate, and that the less effort you expend, the fewer expectations you have, the more rewarding your meditation experiences will be, right? So if you're going to sit down, you know, and you're going to be like, I'm going to achieve enlightenment, I'm going to become self-actualized, I'm going to make my thoughts stop moving around, just let it go, right? So there's no right way to do it. It's just practicing looking deeply in the moment, right? It shouldn't be hard. It's just about becoming aware. So it really is truly a state of being rather than a state of doing. So we're going to take a moment. It's fun time, movie time, because I've been incorporating some cool movies. So I'm going to bring up one of my favorite people to talk about meditation, and that's Eckhart Tolle. Oh, that's Wayne Dyer. So hold on, I got to find where's my Eckhart Tolle? So this is a piece that I downloaded from Sounds True Meditation Summit. If you're interested in seeing this full clip, you can go to soundstrue.com and look at their full length of meditations. Here we go. So let's hear what Eckhart Tolle has to say about meditation.
Let's talk about meditation today, and whatever else arises out of that, you never know beforehand. Meditation, as you may know, I don't teach meditation as such, not so much as a separate practice. Presence practice, bringing presence into everyday life, is meditation. But there's also something to be said for having a structured practice every day. And it may not be right or absolutely necessary for everybody, but many people will find structured meditation every day helpful. The thing is, I've come across many meditators who are extremely accomplished, have been practicing meditation, structured meditation for 20 or 30 years, and still they find that no matter what states of consciousness they achieve or enter into in their structured meditation, there's still a huge gap between their everyday life and their state of consciousness while they meditate. In other words, they tend to be almost as unconscious as a non-meditator in everyday life. So there's a gap that can arise in people who practice structured meditation between, this is my meditation, and then you get on with the rest of your life. Meditation in the morning and the evening, and then they move out of their meditation into the rest of their lives. To exemplify that, there's the example of the meditator, the man who is meditating on metta, a Buddhist meditation called loving kindness, where you spread loving kindness out from you. It goes something like, may I be well and happy. May I be well and happy. May I be well and happy. And as the words are used as pointers so that you emanate peace, you can feel yourself. And then you include the next circle, may everybody in this house be well and happy. May everybody in this city be well and happy. Gradually you expand. May everybody in this state be well and happy. In this country, the entire planet. So it's quite a beautiful meditation. Anyway, this man then was practicing the metta, loving kindness meditation, and then the door opened and his daughter came running in. And so he opened it. I said, can't you see I'm doing my meditation? Get out of here. Every day you disturb me while I'm doing it. This shows the gap between the practice and living. So if you are a meditator or if you take up meditation, beware of that. And very important, meditation must not be confined to just one time period when you sit down, when you sit in wherever you sit, on the floor, on a chair, on a cushion, and close your eyes. Meditation needs to seep into everyday life, and this is what we call, of course, this is what we always address here, what the teaching is all about. That's the presence practice. And sometimes I recommend little, what I call mini meditations, and this is really a presence practice that you can do wherever you are and in any situation. So I recommend, for example, every time you get into your car, when you close the door, not to immediately reach for the ignition, but to sit for at least about 30 seconds. Don't do too much, not necessary. 30 seconds, and be present during those 30 seconds. You can choose either to have your attention on sense perceptions, visual, auditory, give it your complete attention. Or you can have your attention on the fact that you are breathing.
All right. So I could seriously sit here with you guys and watch that whole clip. I adore Eckhart Tolle. But I love this, that meditation truly is a state of being rather than a state of doing. So let's continue on. We do have a lot more material to cover. So some of the meditation's positions are sitting. This is by far the most prevalent choice of the positions for meditation. There are, however, many variations to the sitting meditation, and it's up to each person to determine what position is the most comfortable and effective for you. So you could lie or recline when you're meditating. This position is generally used when the desired outcome of the meditation is to fall asleep, right? So it's always good to do this one if you're about to do sleeping meditation. Walking meditation. So this is a type of meditation where you can simply focus upon the synchronization of your breath and taking steps. This is one that I've participated in at the Buddhist temple. And also at the Center for Spiritual Living in Edmonton, they do, once a month, they do a labyrinth walk. They have a labyrinth on their floor, and you can, walk mindfully. And one of the things that they encourage that you can do is that with each step you're taking, you're walking for somebody in your life who might benefit from your meditation, right? So if you have somebody who's sick in your life or experiencing hardship, or perhaps they can't walk, that you walk for them, and it's a really beautiful experience as well. So meditation styles. So those were positions that you can meditate. These are just some various styles that you can do. So self-guided is this style of meditation is honestly the most common. The meditator is the indirect control of the meditation experience. Like I was sharing about my meditation where I visualize myself kind of going out into the universe and then coming back. That's not somebody telling that to me. That's me guiding that within my own mind. So externally guided. Externally guided, in this style of meditation, the meditator is guided through a meditation experience by the voice of a facilitator who may be or may not be themselves participating in it. I know if you YouTube meditations, guided meditations, there's millions of them out there. There's some guided meditations on the Self-Realization Fellowship through Yogananda that I really love. There's a meditation on peace. That's one of my favorites. See, I am sitting in the temple of peace. It's phenomenal. So I am about to experiential learning. So let's take 2 minutes, guys. I see we've got 7 people here watching with us. And I wholeheartedly encourage you to play and experience this. So let's just take a moment and we'll just do 2 minutes, a 2-minute mindfulness guided meditation. All right. So let's just take a minute here and do a 2-minute guided meditation.
I'm going to guide you through a very simple mindful breathing exercise. It's very useful when maybe we're getting a bit stressed, a bit anxious. We're finding ourselves worrying or panicking in the day. We need to just connect ourselves back to the here and now, ground ourselves in this moment. So I'm going to invite you to sit up straight. Let your shoulders relax down naturally. And gently rest your hands in your lap. Let go of any tension in your arms. Just relax them. And you can either close your eyes or focus with a soft gaze on something in the distance. Now start bringing awareness to your breathing. We're going to be breathing in and out to the count of 4. So to start, empty your lungs. Breathe out, out, out. Empty them. And now breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. And in. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. And in. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Now let your breathing just return to its natural rhythm. When you're ready, open your eyes, have a look around. Notice how you are here right now in this moment.
Ah. So a guided meditation can look just like that, having somebody walk you through the experience. Another style of meditation is solitary. So this is honestly one of the most common styles of meditation. Is usually people meditate on their own. We did just do kind of a group meditation, which was kind of cool. But typically solitary meditation is separate and away from other people. So group meditation. So this style involves any number of individuals participating in a meditation in relatively close proximity to one another in a common area. It can be a very powerful experience due to the combined energies of all the individuals involved. So, you know, there was 8 of us that just participated in that breathing meditation. And I think that was pretty cool. But further to that, there's actually been studies, scientific studies done on the impact of group meditation in society. So this is known as the Maharishi, oh my goodness, I'm not saying that correctly. Maharishi effect. There we go. So I found a little video about the Maharishi effect, and let's hear what they have to say. So yes, there is great power in coming together in unity for a common cause to look deeply in the moment and step outside of our automatic beliefs and behaviors about, oh, I'm getting emotional, guys, about how we're doing this, you know, how we're showing up in the world. And when we come together as a group and in unity, we raise our standards for the possibilities of our society. So yes, if you have the opportunity to participate in a group meditation, I encourage you to do that. Helen Gibson, a member of the Miracle Morning Group, made a post on Monday, I believe the 23rd. Check the exact dates. She's organizing a global group meditation. I'm going to do my best to be there. I honestly don't care what time of day it is. I want to be involved in contributing to raising the vibration on the planet. So check that out. Whew, okay, carrying on. So meditation types. I'm going to run through these fairly quickly. So there are many different types of meditation. No type is necessarily better than the other, except in terms of how comfortable the meditator feels. So there's breath mindfulness. We just had an experience of that. So where you're focusing on the breath itself. One of the ways you can do is like to close off one nostril and breathe in and out, and then close off the other and breathe in and out. Nothing gets your mind's attention quicker than having to focus on your breath. Visualization. So the focus is on the creation of a vivid visual image or picture that it may involve all of the senses. And there's lots of different, visualizations you can do. You could create your own in accordance to your treasure map or your vision board if you made one. So mantras. Okay, this is one that gets me fired up. I love mantras, and Krishna Das is one of my favorite mantra singers to meditate to. But in essence, the focus in a mantra is on a single sound, tone, or vibration made by the meditator as they meditate and is generally felt throughout the body. So I'm going to ask you guys to participate fully and wholeheartedly if you can. If you have people in your life, in your surroundings right now and you can't, I understand. But I'm going to go for it. So let's have an experience of doing this. So Wayne Dyer, God bless his soul. He is passed on, but he was the creator of the morning awe meditation for manifesting. And I've been doing this one for years. I will go and literally sit in the woods behind my house, sit under my favorite tree, and I will awe meditate. And it is phenomenal. And one day I was doing that actually, and a coyote came along and he was barking back at me while I was awing. But so yeah, if you're here, let's give this a go.
You to think about what it is you would like to manifest in your life. And just feel it. Just feel it going out through the chakra of the third eye between your eyes, eyebrows. Experience it going outward.
So that one can actually be found on YouTube. It's the awe meditation, morning awe meditation for manifesting. It's about 20 minutes long, so I'm gonna just leave that there. So you could sing, chant. Mantras are a great way to meditate. So sensory, where the focal point is on the result of a stimulation or a particular sensory organ. So for example, focusing on a candle or a flower or a picture or a pattern of specific colors. Like you could be maybe meditating on the rocks behind me. Auditory, so playing sound or music. If you've ever been to the symphony, to close your eyes and just truly embrace the sounds. Even sitting outside in nature, maybe sitting and listening to the wind chimes, focusing in on the sound is a form of meditation. Olfactory, so incense, aromatic oils, smelling the flowers. The saying, stop and smell the flowers. So again, looking deeply in the moment and allowing that sense to truly permeate your awareness. Taste, so if you're sitting down to eat a meal, truly taste the food. Look deeply into the food you're about to eat. Taste the spices, taste the love that went into making that meal. Tactile, so again, holding specific objects, holding your favorite fuzzy, cuzzy, warm, smudgy blanket, right? And allowing those senses, or, feeling your lover, embracing your child's in your arms, really feeling, Sharon, if you're still here, Sharon, you're hanging out with your nephew, hug him and really feel your nephew in your arms. So that's a form of meditation as well. Silent. This is one I need to practice a lot more of. So sitting in an area completely devoid of any sensory distractions with no particular focus on anything other than simply being in the moment. Staring at a blank wall. Being for the purpose of connecting with your higher self. So we are wrapping up here, guys. I realize I've gone longer than 45 minutes, so thank you for bearing with me. So final thoughts. It is possible to enter a state of altered consciousness while doing activities that tend to require little conscious effort, are repetitive in nature, and tend to be less stimulating. So some people would refer to this as daydreaming. So if you've ever had the experience of driving a car on a long road trip, some of my best imaginations and daydreams happen because I'm in this altered state of consciousness, right? As my left brain is occupied with driving, my right brain has the opportunity to create, and I have all these vivid creations. The same thing happens for me when I'm cutting the grass, right? When I'm sitting on the lawnmower, cutting the grass, or raking the leaves, or shoveling the snow on the sidewalk, right? So that's a form of meditation as well. So more final thoughts. Activities such as house cleaning, washing dishes, ironing, folding clothes, and knitting are often the focal points for this unusual form of meditation. So if you have a task that's maybe you don't want to do it, like cleaning the toilets, turn it into a cleaning toilet meditation. Just look deeply in the moment. Turn it into an opportunity to practice meditation. Drop all automatic beliefs and behaviors and live presently in the moment, because there are no ordinary moments, even whilst cleaning a toilet. So here are my final thoughts. Meditation truly is a highly personalized, unique experience. The keys to a rewarding meditation experience are trusting the process. So there's no right or wrong. It's not about getting it right, guys. It's about being. Having some faith in yourself and your ability to just be and to practice. And like I said about running a marathon, you know, if you start out running even 60 seconds at a time, you build up, you build up. It's the same thing with practicing meditation. Starting out 60 seconds at a time, 4 breaths at a time, and then work it up and work it up. Let go of any expectations, right? You know, you don't need to be some guru meditator within the next 6 months, right? In fact, that's not, it's about the presence. It's about bringing that mindfulness into the experience. It's like Eckhart Tolle said that even some expert facilitated meditators, even after 30 years, still don't have that presence. They still have the ability to fly off the handle, right? So it's about practicing that mindfulness and just let go of your expectations. So being open and flexible to trying different styles and positions and different types of meditation. So if you've been one where you're like, I consistently meditate for 60 minutes every morning at 5 o'clock, great. Change it up. You know, maybe tomorrow you try drinking tea meditation, or maybe you try the mantras, or maybe you try a guided meditation. Or if you've always done guided meditations, try sitting in silence. Try a breath meditation. Just expand your experience of what meditation is and practice looking deeply within the moment. And surrender to whatever transpires. So just let go, let it go. Even if it's resistance. So even if you're in resistance to the experience that you're having during the meditation, surrender to that. It's part of it. And have fun and never, ever give up. So any questions? I see there wasn't a lot of questions, you guys. There was a lot of comments. And Sharon said, I'm addicted to the loving kindness meditation. I've written my own over the last 10 years. Sharon, I am a big fan of metta meditation as well, and love practicing that one. Okay, so if there's no questions about meditation, I think that was pretty thorough. So your homework, guys, should you choose to accept the challenge. So for your next morning routine, choose one style of meditation covered in this presentation that you've never tried before. Swing the pendulum, give it a go, have an experience, and then actually try it. All right, so that is my little presentation on meditation. Again, I just want to really clarify and solidify that the practice of this is really about, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are you doing here? This is your life. You know, if we die at 80 years old, how many more days do we have left? I think about that, and our lives are finite. So how do I want to spend my days? I want to spend them awake and aware and conscious for the purpose of being a bringer of something greater than myself, right? And in order for me to do that, I need to be aware. I need to be aware of not only myself, but of other people around me. And the practice of meditation really brings that mindfulness into the present moment so that I can actually drop all my BS, the storm cloud, the thunder cloud in my mind. When I'm meditating, I can step outside of the storm cloud in my mind, and I can step out and I can be in service to you. And it takes practice through meditation. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you attending, all of you that stuck out the presentation. I appreciate you, and take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.